Hello everyone, it's time for another charging curve, and today we have the Kia EV4. It has a 81 kWh battery, 78 kWh can be used, 400 volt system. I charged it from Ionity from 9 to 80%. We're gonna compare it to the EV3. It should be the same battery, but then also to other cars with a similar battery, also 400 volt system, because we will see that that Kia is holding the car a bit back. The EV4 has okay consumption, it's good for the long distance trip, but I think a battery 400 volt system could charge a bit better, especially in the bottom if a car has low consumption where you don't need to charge to 80%.
If your company has electric cars as company cars, of course you want your employee to charge at home. It's cheaper for you and it's easier for the employee. Tronity has a software solution for you to know how much you have to pay your employee for charging at home. With the Fleet Manager you manage your employees and your cars. Tronity connects to the cars and knows exactly when the car is charging at home and how much. And then you get an easy monthly bill for your employee. If you want to know more, there's a link in the description below.
And here we are, 9%. It goes slowly up to around 118 kilowatt. It takes a few percent, only 350 volt. And now it's slowly going up more and more and more to the peak of 131 kilowatt. And this is reached at around 66%. And then we go down, we're gonna see that in steps. First to 118 kilowatt, then to 70 kilowatt, and then even 60 and 50 kilowatt. It's gonna go down very soon. Where are we? And down here at 66, 67%, then at 71% to 70 kilowatt, 78, and then we have another dip here at 60, and then even to 50. If you charge the car to 100%, you still get around 30 kilowatt over 90%, which is really okay. If you like this video, it would be nice if you show it also and maybe subscribe to the channel as well, so you don't miss a new one. And here we have the curve, and as you have seen in the video as well, goes up to here around 180 kilowatt, then slowly up, and then we have the jump 180, jump 70, and then here jump 60, and then goes pretty fast down. It took 10 to 80%, took 33 minutes for me. But now the comparison to other cars, and very important, to the EV3, which should have the exact same battery. And in here we can see in red is the EV4 and in blue the EV3, and they're basically the same. There's a tiny bit of difference here in the back. It's all fine. So EV3 charges the same as EV4. I think the EV5, if I ever get it, will have a different charging curve. It also has different power motors, which is really interesting. In this graph I also have in yellow the ID.3 GTX. This was the Fire and Ice edition, which is also 79 kilowatt hour battery. And in blue, the Tesla Model 3 Highland, which is also around 78, 79 kilowatt hour. And as we see, the ID.3 till, what is this, 55% is always above, and then just a tiny bit under, and in the end, even again above it. And the Model 3 till 38% is above, then always under the EV4. And we know Model 3 is only great charging at under 40%. At 50% you already get under 100 kilowatt, which is not amazing. But the ID.3 is doing really well, and this is what I mean. Yes, to 80%, maybe it's not the incredible difference, but we're gonna look at the times and it still is. But with a car that has good consumption, especially in the summer, you only charge to 55, 60%. And then the other cars are just way better and faster. We can see that already at the 10 to 80% times. EV3 and EV4 take 33 minutes, the ID.3 GTX 26 minutes, that's 7 minutes faster. And if you don't charge to 80%, if you charge to 60% or 55, it's another 2-3 minutes. That's just how it is. The Model 3 is not good to 80% because we see it goes down so much. But if you charge to 50%, it's still faster than the EV4. By the way, if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery, where I'm vlogging. So if I get a car, what's happening with the car, if there are any news and anything happening, really awesome. And we see the same, of course, with the kilowatt hours charged over time. EV3, EV4 are exactly the same. Model 3 is in the beginning above, then goes down at 30 minutes, 25 minutes. It's even the same as the EV4 because the power just goes down so fast. And ID.3 is a bit under the Model 3 in the beginning, but then up because it keeps the high power. Peak is 290 kilowatt or so. It's just better. And the EV4 is just here underneath again because it's just 130 kilowatt, even though it stays on pretty long. But then the interesting part, range charged into the car over time. I took the kilowatt hours charged, so charging loss is in there, and then I took the average consumption that I had with these cars at 130 kilometers an hour range test. And they also been tested in a very similar time. So in February right now, 26, I tested the EV4. In January, I tested the Tesla Model 3 Highland, the new version, and an ID.3 GTX Fire and Ice. And when we look at the consumption, the EV4 had 257 watt-hours per kilometer. It was 1 degree cold. The ID.3 was at -5, so a bit higher consumption, 285. If it would be the same battery, same weather, I would say it would have 270, but still higher consumption than the EV4. EV4 is just cool. And the Model 3 had 229, so the least, and it was even the coldest. So in warmer temperature, it would even have lower consumption. And then if we look at the range in this graph, I left the EV3 out because it's an SUV. And the EV4 in blue is the lowest. ID.3 GTX is then in the middle because it has the highest consumption, but it still charges great. And the Model 3 is on top because the consumption is just amazing. And again, weather was worth with the Model 3, so worse, not worth. It would be even better if they would drive at the same time. And this is the thing, if you have great consumption and still okay charging, you're just on top. And just for an example, let's say you want to charge 100 kilometers into the battery. In the EV4 that takes around 16.5 minutes, in the ID.3 that takes 12 minutes, and in the Model 3 that takes 11 minutes. That's just awesome. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that here on YouTube via channel membership. But you get also something for it. You get early access to new videos. And if there's something really important happening, you are the first to know. So the EV3 is really a great car for the long distance trip when it comes to consumption. Charging though is okay. I think they really need to change the chemistry and give it a bit of better charging. I'm talking right now, they say it's 30 minutes, 10 to 80%. I've never achieved that. Even though I had the EV3 in September, it wasn't cold. But I think 26, 27 minutes would be way better if they just give it a bit of a peak on the bottom and then let it go down, that it's at 100 kilowatt at 60%, and goes up to 160 kilowatt or so. That would be way better. It's nice to know that you plug in and you get your 130 kilowatt till 66%. That's nice to know that you know, okay, or it's at 66%, we have to leave, or then 70% where it really goes down to 70 kilowatt. But still, I think it could be better, and this is what's holding the car a bit back when it comes to long distance driving. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, but that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.